studio binder or something like, just something, develop your flow before the production starts and figure out what your weaknesses are so that if you have something you're struggling with, you can identify someone with your team and say, hey, I know that this is your area, this is your forte, can you take this on for me? Because I am not going to do it. You know, you've got to establish it beforehand. I know a lot of teams who just develop that, figure that out in the middle of the production, and it's already slowed things down. So really like, have a blueprint for what you want and be willing to pivot. Because it's never, ever going to go exactly the plan. But sometimes that's the greatest blessing and the greatest miracles. The most beautiful of roses grow from the shit. You know? And you might come into this and think, oh my God, my movie's ruined because I'm not getting this location fell through or whatever it is. Be ready to pivot because that might be the miracle that makes your movie stand out.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, this really happened on Lupus. We flew to New York, 2-day tight shoot, like from the 6-day shoot, different crew there. We had a home base where we all sleep at my producer's house in Long Island. And we were filming in Long Island on one of the days. 2 guys, and I'm not going to say who, they insisted that they stay in New York after our shoot on Saturday. And I'm like, God, this sounds bad. Like, why you gotta stay in New York? You're getting a free ride to where we're gonna film the next morning. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I had Jim from the Cave fly from England to be there to film. And I picked a location that I found on Google Maps that I thought was great. It had like all these cherry blossom trees and stuff in central Iceland. And we get there, and these people are taking forever, to the point, like, this is like hours late. And I'm like, I do not know what to do. I just flew, I flew from England to be. And I thought, oh my God, I'm actually at a corner now. Nothing's gonna ever happen. This is bad. Yeah, I had to pay his own money to fly from England to be here to shoot this. So I pulled up my iPhone 15 Pro with the Blackmagic camera app, set it for 24 frames, set it for 4K settings, and I filmed it almost like a backup practice thing. And that stuff looked great. And it's daylight, and it was using I used the stability shot. I can tell we're distributed by Breaking Glass Pictures. Movies coming out November 20th. It's going to be Rue Morgue magazine next month. They didn't know that was the footage from my phone. It was in the trailer, you know. And when the crew finally showed up, all hung over, they're like, okay, let's go back into it. So we went back, and I guess I filmed a murder scene in front of a church that was going on, and they called the police, and there's a police line around the block where we were. I'm like, this is not going to happen, you know, like they're looking for us right now. So that was that, but the footage from my phone saved the movie, and yeah, it looked that good, you know, and I'm about to get the 17 Pro in a week, but I don't recommend it, but hey, it like, we had the professional sound person there, and that color corrected in a DaVinci Resolve or a Flame. I think we might use a Flame. It just looked great, you know, like nobody could tell, like, oh, we didn't have a crew for that, you know. It was like, I wouldn't do the whole movie like that, but it worked for that for sure, you know. And that was one of the moments where I felt like, hey, I don't need anybody except myself if I have to, you know. If I have to be the actor too, I'll do that, you know, but we're going to finish the movie, you know. So, yeah.
So to kind of summarize a lot of what we've heard today, as far as pieces of advice, experiences, etc. Know yourself and your limitations. Lean into your community, intentionally build your community, so that way, not just your limitations, but resources you need are all able to be found. Save time when you can by planning big kills or complex scenes for a shorter period of time and with prosthetics instead of perhaps super complicated makeup. And make sure that whatever you have to show funders is a strong enough evidence, or whatever story you're trying to tell is strong enough to get people invested in your story. Does that sound?
Were you writing all that down?
I
It's okay to enjoy it while you're doing it. 'Cause
Yeah.
we get very, we can get
Serious,
like,
yeah.
it's okay to be like, hey,
The most stressful time of my life, and if there's one thing I could do differently, I probably would have just tried to, yeah.
And with the money, it's a crapshoot, but horror is the best genre for that potential money for low indie budgets to come back. You know, this is the right. It took me 5 films to learn that. This is the one that maybe you got a shot. You know, one more.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I know we're trying to wrap it up. I arrived late. Would you mind just introducing yourselves, go around the horn one more time, and telling us your films as well?
McCurdy Point, yeah.
Thank you.
I'm Ryan, German.
I'm Roger, I directed you.
I'm Raven, I directed No Seams. Debra, I co-produced Rufus.
Mars Roberge, filmmaker for Rufus.
Jake Myers, I directed Kombucha.
Thank you.
And then before we fully wrap it up, I forgot one more thing in the summary, is to build each other up. Make sure you're taking care of your actors, your crew, say thank you, show gratitude, connect on social media, keep track of people. You never know where someone's background actor today could be a leading star tomorrow, and maybe they remember that you were kind and they can't wait to be film. So,
How are you remembering all this? Incredible.
it just comes natural.
Also, do you do ASMR?
So for the final overview before we then turn the conversation over to our mixer, which will have some light refreshments served in this room in just a few minutes, what's a piece of advice or words of encouragement, anything you want to share to that filmmaker who's right about ready to take a leap into making a feature for the first time?
I think you just have to do it. Done is better than perfect. You have to be stubborn, and you just have to have a North Star, but everything else is a negotiation. And yeah, a lot of films die in post. It's a long haul, but if you finish it, that is a true accomplishment.
2 quick things. One is make the film you want to make. Don't listen to other people because you're the one going to be with it for the rest of your life. So there's no wrong if it's the way you want it done. And the other is, stay away from all this back-end royalty stuff with all these people because you're going to resent it when you're working on this 8 years later and you've never seen this person again. Unless you happen to get an A-list star and you scored big that way. But try to watch out because distributors aren't too happy when you say, yeah, there's about 8 other owners in this film besides me and it's this actor and that. They'll be like, why did you give all this when you gave 25% of your movie away before you even started? You're going to be with it for a long time. So people prey on newbies, don't be interviewed by the person you're interviewing that's trying to figure out how much money they can possibly get out of you. And you can tell they're not listening to your idea about what the movie is or care. There's a lot of, get the right people to work with.
I'd say be open to doing any task that needs to be done because you don't know when one of your soldiers is gonna fall. And you'd be surprised what you can teach yourself. Now we have a fantastic thing called YouTube where you could literally learn any program you could possibly think of just
half of my resume consists of movies that just didn't get finished. You gotta roll with those punches. It will thicken your skin, and then you